Hey there, everybody. Not sure how many people we got watching, and I apologize. I'm sweaty, just got home from work, and actually just cleaned the garage out. But anyway, wanted to come on and give everybody a quick update on my grandma's car, and then also the video. Jacob Metcalf, how are you doing? My grandma's car is doing great. I know there were some comments that people thought throwing pads on would just make the brakes start squeaking, whatever. Von Heels, how are you doing, Von Heels? And I'm not going to be on here too terribly long. I got to try to get that video uploaded and posted to those generators I talked about on Sunday. I was going to try to get that done yesterday, and I ended up finished up the kitchen. But anyway, the video, the elephant in the room, the video, I think I'm going to take it down. And here's why. I haven't been contacted by anybody. No one sent me any emails. It's not like Firestone's reached out and said, hey, you need to take this down. It's not a matter of any of that. The video, it's actually getting a lot of views, lots and lots of comments. I think it's more than 10-1 as far as thumbs up versus thumbs down. Mike Manfred, how are you doing, Mike? Tell Charles I said hi. But here's the thing on that video. And actually, I'm going to bring it up real quick so I can look at the stats. It's had 884 thumbs up and 88 thumbs down. However, it's generating a lot of negativity. For every 10 supportive comments I get, we're getting some, hey, Blue Line, how are you doing, Blue Line Landworks? But anyway, for every 10 or so supportive comments that I get on it, I'm getting some pretty negative feedback. And I don't want this channel to be that way. I don't want it to be about negativity. So, John Warren, how are you doing, John? And it's also caused me to kind of go in a direction that I don't want to go. Some of the negative comments that I get, I'm basically going in and kind of defending myself on them and whatnot, and that's fine. Someone can call me out and do whatever, but some of them are enough that it's kind of pushed me to being a little bit hateful, and I don't want this channel to be about that. So tell me what you guys think in comments real quick. Cecil McKinley, how are you doing, Cecil? And, I've picked up probably 200 subscribers off of that video. However, again, I don't want it to be that way. Lakeside Ranch says, hey, Jimmy, it's your channel, and you'll do the right thing, bud. Don't stress over the comments. And Blue Line says, I haven't seen the video yet. Justin McKee, disable the comments. I mean, I could disable comments on it. And like I said, I've got broad shoulders. I can handle that kind of stuff. I'm not worried about that. I just don't like the negativity on the channel. I want this channel to be positive and everybody, get to see a side of the construction industry that people don't generally get to see. So that's why I'm thinking about taking it down. Ryan Huey said, stick to cranes. Stick to cranes, and how about the occasional work on my truck video? You good with that? Anthony Ray says, hello from Georgetown, Kentucky. It's a shame your grandmother got taken for a ride. Oh, there's my dad said, stand your ground, son. When you're right, you're right. Josh Wellner says, just got here. What video? I'm talking about the Firestone video. I'm contemplating taking it down. But I guess I could just go in and disable comments on it, and at least that would keep the negativity off of the channel. But I also kind of just feel like that video isn't what this channel's about. I don't know. I'm torn. I've been thinking about it quite a bit today, and I'm kind of torn on it. Lakeside Ranch working on the Mighty Dodge is always good video material. Let's see. Josh Wellner says, no, you're in the right in my mind. Okay, so John Warren says just disable the comments. So I guess we'll do that and see what it does. Oh, good point, Dad. It says don't need to be belligerent back, but they deserve to be called out on it. Von Heels. It says I would keep it up even if it means disabling comments. Blue Line, at the end of the day, it's your channel. Post anything you feel like posting. Post some videos very unrelated to logging. Sometimes I just try to pride myself on good editing. Blue Line, you do have some good editing. So the reason why I'm kind of consulting with you all is I've tried to preach from day one that, granted, I edit the material and put on this channel. I want you guys to have input in it. So I want you guys to feel vested in it and have a say in what stays and what goes. If I put something up and you guys are like, hey, that you probably shouldn't have that on there, then let me know and I'll take it down, because I want you guys to be part of this. Ultimately, it's 7,000 some people watching it, and you guys should have a say in what you're seeing. Disable comments in the video. Let's keep the work on the truck videos. Lakeside Ranch, that's a good point too. Said, in my honest opinion, Jimmy, you did the right thing, show the reasons you were concerned, and have the raw footage for your archives. Blue Line. It's bringing people to your channel, and at the end of the day, the negative people are hitting subscribe. Okay, so all right, we'll disable comments and see how it goes. Part of the way YouTube presents videos to people is by comments. So if it's getting a lot of feedback, then that's kind of how they're showing the video. But Blue Line says, I meant to say they are not hitting subscribe. So yeah, that makes sense. Blue Line says, bring a lot of people to your channel. At the end of the day, the negative people are not hitting subscribe. So there is some truth to that. There's a lot of people that are seeing, To the Top Crane, and when they watch that video, they probably are suspecting that the other 170 videos are going to be something similar. So Doug Ward said perhaps that shop has had bad experiences with comebacks when they didn't replace suspectful parts. Don't know, just saying. That shop, this local shop, if you look at their comments, this isn't an isolated incident. It's there's several comments on their I don't know, when you look them up on Google, there's several comments on there about how they've replaced stuff on cars that didn't need to be replaced and whatnot. So that I don't want anybody to think that this is isolated. It's absolutely not. Ryan Huey said, just started my own crane company, thinking of starting a YouTube channel. Go for it. Just know that it's a lot of work. And congratulations on starting your crane company. It's probably the most stressful thing you've done in your life. But Blue Line says, this is Thor's hammer coming along. Haven't seen any updates. I haven't done anything with it for a couple months. Actually, in that video, I panned to it real quick so you can see that it's about half done. I'm kind of waiting for it to turn to fall so I'm not sitting in my garage welding when it's 110 degrees in there. Mark Fiden, I feel they will think twice before trying to take advantage of someone else's grandmother again. Scott Bennett, agree with you. Keep the video up but disable comments. And this is from Ontario. That's pretty impressive. Ryan said, very stressful. Thank you. Saved 5 years to buy a 60-ton Grove, cash money. So Von Heel says, to be honest, the bigger problem I had with it was misreporting or misrepresenting information as opposed to suggesting unneeded repairs. And that was definitely a problem that I had with it. Blue Line, yeah, I think Thor's hammer will do good. It's just I've got to get that hammer done. Sandy, how are you doing, Sandy? You missed the first 10 minutes of my dilemma talking about, I finally managed to catch one of these shindigs. I'm not going to be on here too long, but I'm trying to get some feedback on that Firestone video as far as keeping it, getting rid of it, disabling comments. The general consensus is disable comments. Okay, so Mike Manfred's in agreement with everybody else. So keep the video up to spread awareness, but disable the comments. Okay. So we'll try that. We'll see what happens. I appreciate everybody's feedback on it. My mom says the video originated due to your concern of your grandma being taken advantage of, thus the passion behind the video. I don't understand the negativity, but opinions, what makes the world go round. Oh, Sandy said mixed feelings, to be honest. One of the other channels I'm watching is now being sued for a similar video. Well, that's fun. Rich Savalio. Wait, let me read the comments. I had to fire back pretty hard at one of them last night. I pretty much typed a book. The guy basically said, what was it at the end of his comment? I don't remember exactly how he worded it. Something about wannabe. They say ass in Disney movies. So the guy called me a wannabe cheap ass mechanic. So I let him have it. I honestly don't think there's any recourse they have for suing me on that, since I've got the paperwork. I've got access to the paperwork showing where they changed the numbers, and I've got the video footage showing where they didn't do anything. So, like where they didn't do the inspection and whatnot, I don't think they have any recourse for suing me on it. 45 knots, move it to private, and those who want to see it, give them the link. I thought about just moving it to private, and moving it to private makes it where you can't search for it. It doesn't come up in suggested videos. Josh Wellner, do I have to go read the comments now, or are we going to wait a day? Am I going to wait a day to make it private, or am I going to wait a day to? I mean, you can read comments now. I can read you some of the comments if you want to see. If you want me to read them to you, some of them are pretty. The most recent one. So why in the hell didn't she bring it to you in the first place? Well, that's been answered. I don't know how many times. This guy typed a book. I'm not reading all that. I mean, the overall general consensus is everybody's pretty supportive. There's a few in there that evidently either work at Firestone or just think that I'm all out attacking mechanics, but that would be stupid of me to do because I'm also a mechanic. So, yeah, I don't know. I was going to read some comments, but Cody Simpson, people are stupid, keep up the great videos. Sandy, they're unlikely to win, but it won't stop someone from trying it anyhow. Personally, I don't think it's right myself. Doug Ward, thinking if you didn't get any complaints from Firestone store, I guess you don't know what all the concerns are. That's a good point, Von Heel said. Let me ask this way. If someone at your company acted in a similar way, would you want it to be made public or kept quiet? I guess if our company consistently did stuff like that, we would be, it would be fair game. I would expect people would probably make it public. I called the guy on the way to my house, and I gave him the opportunity to have a discussion as far as, hey, maybe I got in over my head and was suggesting parts that did need to be replaced, and he didn't offer any rebuttal except for kind of starting around and trying to cover his tracks. And then once I got the paperwork and saw that they hadn't done any of the inspection, that just kind of drove the nail in a little deeper. Yeah, I don't know what Firestone will try to do. I don't know if they'll try to file a suit on something like that. I mean, they've got more backing than I do, but Paul Woolner and Jimmy go undercover, get a job as a mechanic at that shop. Von Hills, like I said, anyone can make a mistake. No one should lie, though. Doug Ward, best thing, he's got her brakes fixed. Art Walters, I don't know if it's a franchise. I think it's a franchise store. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that store's formatted. It's been there, and it's been a Firestone store for years and years. So I don't know. I don't know what their affiliation is. Yeah, Doug Ward says, that every repair joint tries to upsell. The thing with upselling, I mean, I'm okay with people trying to upsell a little bit, but to blatantly lie and say that, you know, rotors couldn't be turned and they had to be replaced because they had hot spots on them, and that was absolutely false. And the footage that I have versus what I showed, I've got footage of me changing the brakes, everything. I cut all that out because it's a typical brake job. It's it's not something that's new to most people. So the footage I have is pretty extensive in comparison to what I put on old YouTube. All I put on the YouTube was measuring the rotors, checking the run out, and showing their inability to do an inspection that they were charging for. Von Hills, if South Main Auto is any indication, people watch brake jobs until the cows come home. And I don't understand that. Disc brake jobs are the easiest things to do on a car. Changing front brakes is probably easier than changing oil. Sandy said, if this had been my shop and someone had put this up, I'd be sitting down with you to work out some agreement where I'd make it right with you and you take the video. Here's the thing. They could call me and offer me money, and I'm not going to take the video down for money. What I want them to do is start treating people the way that they should be treated. Just last night I was watching TV and a commercial came on, and it was the Firestone video of employees talking about how they want to treat people like their own family members, and I kind of had to laugh at that. But the only way that if they contacted me and said, "Hey, I'm going to give you $1,000 to take this video down," I'd tell them to take their $1,000 and put it into training their employees. I want them to respect their customers enough to not lie to them and try to take advantage of them. That's what would get me to take it down for sure. I mean, if they just sent me an email and said, "Hey, this is what we're going to do. We're going to train our employees. We're going to keep track of what they're doing. This won't happen again to anybody that brings their cars in." And at that point, absolutely. Doug Ward, I was told by a repair center I needed brakes in all four corners, but 2 years later, my brakes are still excellent. Doug Ward's a licensed heavy-duty mechanic with 45 years experience. Dal Tex, how are you doing, Dal Tex? Said, hey, Jimmy, hope you're doing well still at work, just saying hi. Hope things are good down there in Texas. James Bergeron, how are you doing, James? So anyway, that's where I'm at with it. I'm contemplating taking it down, but I'll disable comments. We'll see what happens with that. I don't know. At some point, I may just take it down because it doesn't really relate to the channel. So, Doug Ward, you did get a repair on that car. Just saying. I did kind of find it amusing that the guy told me that I was a wannabe mechanic. If he had any idea some of the stuff that I've put my body through to work on things, like packing around an 1.5-inch drive impact with a 6-inch socket on it, or climbing inside differentials in the back of a D10 dozer. I mean, Scott Bennett, any news on the cell tower? The cell tower is happening tomorrow. So we have to get it topped out tomorrow. We have to get it done and topped out. We've got Thursday's weather doesn't look good for working with 300 plus feet of boom. It's supposed to be winds 16 to 18 miles an hour. And if that's the case, that 300 plus feet of boom is not going up in the air. Kai Davis, how are you? So, okay, so that's what I'll do with it. We will disable comments and oh, come on. Hopefully I didn't cut out there. I had a pop-up on my screen for needing to update some kind of software. But that's what I'll do. Disable comments. We'll let it ride, see what it does. Kai Davis, I'm doing great. Wanting to fix up a truck. How are you doing? I'm sweaty. I just cleaned my garage out. Just got home from work, cleaned the garage. So James Bergeron moved to a new house. Now he's got a workshop. That's pretty cool. Von Heels, you hear anything that even resembles the sound of thunder, and everyone around is going to find out just how fast that 300 feet can come out of the air. That is a fact. Or wind. Wind with that much boom, they don't play well together. Wondering Haggis, hi from Scotland. How are you doing? I don't even know how many people are watching right now. Oh, 35. Sandy, it's only 87, but it feels like 100 plus here. I was down there in July. It was pretty warm, but it was actually cooler there than what it was here. Sandy said had to shut jobs down early for the last 5 days because it was too hot to work safely. We get that occasionally here. Sometimes we'll do early starts. You know, I've been on jobs where we've started at midnight. Doug Ward, I enjoy your videos and your job. Don't worry about all the keyboard mechanics that keep putting in their uneducated comments. Just saying. Bruce Russin, how are you doing? Says, hi, Jimmy, from a cool 110 degrees actual Mesa, Arizona. Jeez. That is, that's pretty warm. But you guys say down there that it's a dry heat. And my rebuttal to dry heat is my oven is dry and it still cooks stuff. John Clifton, anything interesting coming up in the future? If you just logged on, John, doing a 300-foot cell tower tomorrow. So that ought to be interesting. I'm going to put a camera on the ball. It's probably going to spin around and move and do all kinds of funny stuff hanging on the ball. But that will at least give you guys a perspective of how high 320 feet is. Oh, Sandy said trying to cable up new building for customers, reading 120 in the attics around 11 a.m. That's pretty hot. Scott Bennett, 35 watching and only 5 thumbs up. I'm showing 14, I think, on the YouTube part of it. Yeah, there's 14 thumbs up. But here shortly, I'm going to upload the video that I was talking about on Sunday. But if you guys missed Sunday's live stream, I unloaded some big cat-powered generators at a facility a few weeks ago. And the generators have, what were they, 3516 cats in them. So they're 16-cylinder, 2,000 horsepower Caterpillar diesels in them. And they didn't have the shroud on it, so you can see the generator portion and the cat engines and whatnot. So, and what I'm going to upload today is I had a camera set up outside, so it'll give you a view just like you were walking down the street and saw us doing it and stopped and watched. Instead of having the camera inside and you guys hear me jabbering all the time, you guys will just get to hear the engine running and watch me swing some generators over. And then I've still got the footage from inside the cab. So later I'll edit together a video showing the inside view along with the outside view, and you'll get the commentary and whatnot. But those generators weighed 58,000 pounds, if that gives you an idea of the size of them. And so that should be up in the next hour and a half or so. Nathaniel Lee, how are you doing? Oh, Josh Wellner, 45 this morning and 78 by noon in Maine. That doesn't sound all bad. But okay, so I've been rambling for about 27 minutes. If you guys want to see that generator video, I've got to jump off of this so I can upload it. It'll take me a little while to upload it. I think it's, 25, 30 minutes long. Doug Ward, what are they using those big gen sets for? I think there were backup generators at a hospital down around Oklahoma City, maybe. And they were purchased, but they were purchased by someone else and then taken to a facility to be rebuilt or something. I don't know. And then they're going somewhere else. So sometime in October, I think we'll have to go back and load them on trucks and send them out. Scott Bennett, comment on outside camera before. Not sure what you mean by that. Richard Coggins, how are you doing? Kai Davis, my dad worked with his crane, sweatpants, long shirt, 90 degrees. Oh, wow. Sometimes if I'm going to be in the big crane for a while, I'll kick my boots off and get comfy. But Josh Wellner says, yep, burgers are done. Have a good night. So anyway, I'm gonna jump off here and get that video uploaded so you guys can watch that. Oh, Scott Bennett, comments before the pick. I actually put a little commentary in the very beginning so you guys get some of the stats, and so you have an idea what I'm actually doing. I did some voiceover on it at the beginning. Wondering, Haggis, what's the best job I've done? Best job is when you can pull in on a foot-thick slab of concrete that's perfectly level, throw the outriggers out, boom up out of the rack, and just start picking. That doesn't happen very often, but those are the best ones because those are the easiest and less stressful. So anyway, stay tuned here in a little bit. That generator video will be up, and then I've got a mountain of other video to get through, get it edited. It's going to be a lot of video editing. But anyway, thanks everybody for the feedback. I'm going to go in, disable some comments. We'll see how it goes. But don't be surprised if at some point you guys go to look for that video and it's not there. Just one of those things. So anyway, thanks for everybody's support. I appreciate all of you. With that, To the Top Crane is out.